Canada just dropped a bombshell on Switzerland with a 5-1 win at the Olympics. 5 goals, full control, and through 2 games, they've allowed only 1. This wasn't just another victory, it felt like a message. If this pace continues, gold isn't far away. And Team USA just got put on notice. This was not a narrow win built on luck or one hot stretch. It was layered production from every part of the lineup. Canada showed depth, pace, and scoring from multiple stars. Connor McDavid led the charge offensively, finishing with a goal and 2 assists. Nathan MacKinnon matched that with a goal and 2 assists of his own. Cale Makar added 2 assists from the blue line. Macklin Celebrini contributed a goal and an assist. Sidney Crosby added a goal. 5 different goal scorers. Multiple players with multi-point games. That matters. When scoring comes from 5 different players in one Olympic game, it tells you something about structure and balance. Switzerland scored once. Canada responded with sustained offensive pressure and never let the game drift back to even terms. Canada has now scored 10 goals in 2 games. They have allowed only 1. That is a +9 goal differential through 2 preliminary matchups. Numbers like that shift tournament conversations quickly. This performance showed 3 clear elements. First, speed through the neutral zone. McDavid and MacKinnon consistently pushed transition play. Second, defensive support from the blue line. Makar's 2 assists came from involvement in offensive sequences while still maintaining structure. Third, scoring depth. Celebrini and Crosby both contributed without forcing plays. Switzerland's lone goal came during a power play sequence. After that, Canada tightened defensive coverage and did not allow another puck across the line. That shift in control defines strong tournament teams. Through 2 games, Canada has scored 5 goals in each. That consistency is significant. It means this is not a one-game surge. It reflects a pattern. Now here is where the wider impact begins. Team USA has also entered the tournament with strong performances, but Canada's statistical profile right now stands out. 10 goals for, 1 goal against. Multiple elite players already on the score sheet. That forces other contenders to adjust. Defensive pairings must account for multiple scoring threats. Goaltenders cannot focus on a single line. Special teams units cannot relax. If this pace continues, Canada will carry the strongest goal differential into the knockout stage. In short tournaments, goal differential influences seeding and matchups. A team that scores 5 goals per game while conceding almost none changes bracket dynamics. McDavid's 3-point performance reinforces his impact as a play driver. MacKinnon's matching output confirms that Canada's offensive threat is not isolated. Crosby adding to the score sheet brings experience into measurable production. Celebrini contributing at this level shows that youth is integrated, not sheltered. The distribution of points is critical. When multiple lines produce, fatigue becomes less of a factor. Ice time spreads naturally. Defensive matchups become harder for opponents to dictate. Canada's roster includes players with previous Olympic experience and Stanley Cup backgrounds. That experience shows in puck management and game control. There was no rush, no visible breakdown, no period where Switzerland seized momentum after its goal. The structure remained steady. Switzerland entered the game after a shutout win against France. Allowing 5 goals in this matchup reflects the difference in offensive depth they faced. Canada's ability to generate offense from defensemen and forwards creates layered pressure. For Team USA and other contenders, the message is clear in the numbers. Canada averages 5 goals per game. They concede 0.5 goals per game. That ratio matters in elimination rounds. If these trends hold, Canada positions itself as the statistical leader entering medal play. The scoring depth, the defensive suppression, and the balanced assist distribution all point to sustained performance rather than isolated bursts. There is also the psychological factor. A 5-1 win does not require late drama. It builds control early and extends separation. That kind of result influences how future opponents prepare. Video sessions will focus heavily on transition defense against McDavid and MacKinnon. Coverage plans will shift toward limiting blue line activation from Makar. But limiting one element may expose another. That is the effect of depth. Through 2 games, Canada has placed 5 different goal scorers on the sheet in this matchup alone. Across the tournament so far, production has not relied on one line. That is measurable, repeatable output. The standings reflect 2 regulation wins, maximum points secured so far, goal differential at +9, offensive leaders already climbing tournament stat charts. The Olympic format does not allow slow starts. Canada has not needed one. The pace is immediate. The efficiency is visible. The production is distributed. If the trajectory continues, the path toward the medal rounds becomes clearer. The numbers suggest momentum. The roster suggests sustainability. The scoreboard reads 5-1. And right now, across the tournament, especially in the United States locker room, those numbers are being studied very carefully.
Canada opens their chase for Olympic gold with a 5-0 win over Czechia. And here to talk about it is Marty Biron. So, Marty, right off the bat, what was the biggest reason for this Canada win?
Well, I look at the skill level, right? Team Canada's skill level, when you look at the forwards, is like, and unlike any other teams, like they are so far and above beyond like any teams in the tournament.
Silence fell over the arena as Team Canada did more than win. They sent a message. Sidney Crosby didn't just wear the captain. He controlled the pace, the bench, and the moment. 5 goals, 0 against. A shutout that shook Czechia. But what happened behind the plays showed why this captaincy could change the entire Olympic tournament.
Team Canada, they're only going to get better from here. They were really sharp. They had things really figured out in the offensive zone, and that is only going to get better. That's only going to become more dangerous for the opposition as this tournament goes on.
Sidney Crosby entered the 2026 Winter Olympics as captain of Team Canada. Hockey Canada officially named him captain before the tournament began. This marked his return to Olympic play after more than a decade. He previously won gold medals in 2010 and 2014. In 2010, he scored the overtime goal that secured Canada's gold medal. Now he was back in charge of a new generation. Canada opened the tournament with a 5-0 win over Czechia. The result was clear and dominant. Nathan MacKinnon scored. Bo Horvat added a goal. Nick Suzuki scored. Mark Stone contributed. 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini also scored in his Olympic debut. The scoring came from multiple lines. That showed depth and structure across the roster. Connor McDavid served as alternate captain. He recorded 3 assists in the game against Czechia. His passing directly led to goals. After the match, McDavid spoke about Crosby's leadership. He described Crosby as a calming presence. That quote reflected how the leadership group functioned inside the locker room. Jordan Binnington started in goal and stopped all 26 shots he faced. The shutout prevented Czechia from gaining momentum. Canada did not allow a goal in any period. The defensive coverage stayed organized. Players blocked lane. They limited rebound. That level of control reflected preparation and discipline. Head coach John Cooper addressed the team's mindset after the game. He noted that the group did not act with entitlement despite its star talent. He emphasized unity and collective effort. His comments connected leadership to team culture. Crosby's role extended beyond scoring. As captain, he led bench communication and shift management. Olympic tournaments move quickly. Early games shape standings and confidence. The 5-0 result placed Canada in a strong position in group play. The game against Czechia was Canada's first Olympic appearance with NHL players since 2014. Expectations were high. The performance matched those expectations. 5 goals scored, 0 allowed. 3 assists from McDavid, 26 saves from Binnington. Crosby returned to Olympic ice as captain. The opening win showed structure, control, and leadership from the first puck drop. The impact of Crosby's captaincy was confirmed even before the puck drop. When Hockey Canada announced him as captain, they reported that he had already won 2 Olympic gold medals. That history placed him as the most experienced leader on the roster. His return connected the 2010 and 2014 championship teams to the 2026 squad. Connor McDavid's 3 assists were direct factors in the scoring play. He did not score, but he influenced multiple goals. His role as alternate captain supported Crosby's leadership. After the game, McDavid again referred to Crosby as a calming presence. That remark carried weight inside a roster filled with NHL captains and all-stars. Crosby's Olympic record added context to his authority. In 2010, he scored the overtime gold medal goal in Vancouver. In 2014, he captained Canada to another gold medal in Sochi. His leadership in those tournaments remains documented in Olympic record. Now, in 2026, he leads again. Head coach John Cooper stated that the team played without entitlement. He emphasized that star power alone does not win games. The 5-0 result came from structured play and discipline. Canada scored in different situations and maintained defensive balance. 5 separate players scored against Czechia. That spread of offense showed depth. The shutout showed defensive control. The captaincy decision placed Crosby at the center of both. The opening game established Canada's position in the tournament standing. It also reinforced the leadership hierarchy announced before the Olympics began. The structure held firm from the first shift to the final horn.
For the captain of Team USA, Austin Matthews, where does he slot in terms of players feeling pressure and expectations coming into this tournament?
I think he's at the top of the list. I really do. I think for a number of reasons. What you just said about the history of USA Hockey. Like, they have to pounce. They believe in their program. They're a great program. They're a great team. They should have gold medal ambitions, right? They had championship ambition at the Four Nations face-off, and they got all the way to overtime, and they almost got it done.
The road to Olympic gold in Milano Cortina will not be easy. 2 hockey giants, Canada and the United States, are bringing superstar talent, heavy pressure, and huge expectations. But this tournament may come down to just 2 names, Cale Makar and Austin Matthews. One controls the ice from the blue line. The other carries a nation's hopes on his stick. As the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics get closer, the spotlight is shining bright on men's hockey. Fans are excited because this is best on best hockey, the world's top NHL stars playing for their countries. For Canada and Team USA, the stakes feel even higher. Both teams are loaded with talent, but their paths to gold may depend on very different X factors.